Discuss about the electrodynamometer type wattmeter for measurement of power. The contents are definition, principle of working, construction and theory. So you learn ammeter, voltmeter. So today we'll discuss about the wattmeter, which is used for the measurement of power. For measurement of power, so the equation of power P is equal to VI cos phi. Voltage multiplied by current multiplied by power factor of the load. So we have to measure voltage, we have to measure current. So from this we define the wattmeter as the instrument whose working depends on the reaction between the magnetic field of moving and fixed coils is known as the electrodynamometer wattmeter. Okay. So from this we required a moving coil, we required the fixed coil. Okay, so basically we required two coils which will measure voltage and current, and based on the magnitude of voltage, based on the magnitude of current flowing through this fixed coil, okay, so which is driven by the load, okay, and based on these two quantities there is a proportional current, and this current will induce the magnetic field, and there is an interaction between these two magnetic fields, and which will generate the torque on the moving system, and this moving system will deflect based on the proportionality of voltage and current flowing through this moving coil and fixed coil. Okay. So the instrument whose working depends on the reaction between the magnetic field of moving and fixed coils is known as the electrodynamometer. Okay. So this is the definition for wattmeter. It uses for measuring the power of both AC and DC circuit. Okay. Because this instrument will generate the unidirectional torque. For DC, the current is flowing in a single direction. In AC, there is a positive cycle, there is a negative cycle. Okay. So based on that, so there is a interaction between this moving and fixed coil. Okay. Magnetic field, magnetic flux. So because of this AC supply, again the unidirectional torque is generated. Okay. So this you learn in the moving iron type instrument. Okay, how it can be used for both AC and DC circuits. Okay, on the similar same basis or on the same principle, this wattmeter is also used for both AC and DC circuit power measurement. Okay. The symbol for wattmeter is shown by this diagram. Okay, so these are the fixed coil and this one is a moving coil. Okay, so this is a symbol for dynamometer type wattmeter. Okay. Now we see the principle of working. Okay, so as discussed in the definition. Okay, so there are two coils, fixed coil. So this is a fixed coil. It is divided into two half part. Okay, and there is a moving coil. Okay, so which is mounted on the spindle so that the current is entered through this spring flowing through this moving coil and it is leaving through the another spring. Okay. So in this way, these are the two coils. This fixed coil, it is connected in series with the load for measurement of current. Okay, and this moving coil is connected across the load for measurement of voltage. Okay. So the working principle of the electrodynamometer wattmeter is very simple and easy. Okay. So there is an interaction of the magnetic field. So their working depends on the theory that current carrying conductor placed in a magnetic field experiences a mechanical force. Okay. So when this wattmeter is connected to the circuit and when we switch on the load, so load current is flowing through this fixed coil and the current proportional to the voltage is flowing through this moving coil. Okay. And this conductor, current carrying conductor is placed in this fixed coil. Okay. So which is halved or divided into two parts. Okay. So this coil will generate the magnetic field. Okay. And this current carrying. Okay. So the current is flowing through this moving coil. So this conductor is placed between these two fixed coil. Okay. So this moving coil, which is a carrying conductor, so there is a mechanical force will be generated because of this field, magnetic field by this fixed coil, and the magnetic field because of this moving coil. Okay. So there is an interaction and the torque will be generated on this moving system. Okay. So in this way the mechanical force will be generated on this moving coil, and based on the magnitude of current flowing through this both coil, the mechanical force is depend. Okay. As the current through this fixed coil is increased because the voltage is fixed. Okay. So as the current through this fixed coil increases, so there will be a more magnetic flux and more interaction is there, and the more magnetic field will be generated and the more deflection will be there. Okay. So this mechanical force deflects the pointer which is mounted on the calibrated scale. Okay. Which is mounted on the calibrated. Okay. So in this way we can measure the power. Now we start with the construction. Okay. So this is the actual view of dynamometer type wattmeter. Okay. So this is a coil, single coil, and this coil is divided into two half parts, 1 and 2. And this third number is a moving coil, so which is a placed in the hollow part of the fixed coil. Okay. So same thing is shown in this diagram. So fixed coil which is divided into two equal half parts. Okay. So this is a moving coil. So there is a control spring, shaft, pointer, and this is a scale. And this wattmeter is shown in the schematic way how we can connect to the load. Fixed coil 1, F1, F2, fixed coil 2, which is connected in series with the load, which will carry the current by the load. Okay. Then there is a moving coil, so which is mounted on the spindle. So it is shown with this pointer. Okay. And one resistance is connected in series with this moving coil. Okay. For measurement of voltage, the resistance should be high so that the small amount of current flowing through this moving coil. Okay. And this moving coil is connected across the supply terminal or across the load. Okay. So there is a fixed coil divided into two parts, moving coil, moving system, pointer, and scale. Okay. So these are the parts of the wattmeters, electrodynamometer type wattmeter. Okay. Now we'll see one by one. Fixed coil. Okay. Or it is also called as a field coil. Okay. So this field coil is connected in series to carry the current, to carry the load. Okay. So to carry the amount of load current, for that, okay, so it is used a heavy conductor. Okay, based on the rating for which we are going to use this wattmeter. So depending on the maximum current rating, accordingly we select the size of conductor, we select the cross sectional of cross-sectional area of the conductor so that it can carry the maximum current or the rated current through this current coil. Okay. So it is divided into two halls. Okay. So the reason for using this fixed coil as a current coil, okay, they can be made more massive. Okay. So depending on the current, so we use the cross-sectional area. So the thick diameter conductor is used. Okay. So overall weight, overall construction of this coil is heavy. Okay. So it can be divided into two parts. Okay. It can be divided into two parts so that the construction is easy, so that it can carry the considerable current. Okay. And it will not create any problem during the construction. Okay. During the working. So the fixed coils are wound with heavy wire. So this wire is stranded or laminated, especially when carrying heavy current, in order to avoid the eddy current loss in the conductor. Okay. So to avoid the eddy current loss, so instead of using single solid conductor, it is used the multi-standard conductor is used. So overall cross-sectional area is reduced. So skin effect, eddy current loss is minimized or it is reduced. Okay. So first they are varnished, baked and excluded the moisture and clamped into the place, thus forming a rigid solid assembly. Okay. So this is the fixed coil. Okay. This is a fixed. Okay. So in early wattmeters, the current coil were sometimes built to carry the load current of 100 amperes or more. Okay. But in such a construction, it is very difficult to avoid the eddy current. As the magnitude of current increases, so cross-sectional area of the conductor is increased, and with this the eddy current losses also increase. Okay. So for 100 amperes, initially we built the wattmeters for 100 ampere, but in that case we cannot avoid the eddy current loss. Okay, we cannot minimize the eddy current loss. Okay. So the use of heavy current leads to introduce the stray field errors also. Okay. And because of this and other errors, so modern practices usually limits the maximum current range of the wattmeter to about 20 ampere. And if we have to use beyond this, so we can go for the wattmeters with the instrument transformer. Okay, so we can use CT, PT for measurement of more powers or for measurement of more current. So in case of precision wattmeter, the two halls of fixed coils which are connected in series for the basic measuring range can be connected in parallel to increase the wattmeter current range to twice its original value. Okay. So shunts are not used for extension of current range since they are subjected to the temperature error. So this is about the fixed coil. Now we will see the moving coil. Okay. The moving coil. Okay. So depending on the number of elements, means for say single phase or three phase. Okay. So the moving coil number is depend on the whether it is a 2 element or 3 element or single element. Okay. So the moving coil is mounted on a pivoted spindle. Okay. Moving coil, it must be free to rotate. Okay. So it is mounted on the spindle, and this spindle is fixed in a dual type bearing. Okay. In a dual type bearing. So spring control is used for the movement. Okay. The springs are also served as the current in and current out. Current in and current. Okay. So these springs are used for the controlling torque. Okay. So the overall construction or overall size of this spring is very delicate. Okay. So the current is limited. So there is a limitation for the current. Okay. So usually 10 to 50 milliampere current is used to flow through this controlling spring. Okay. So this moving coil is used to measure the voltage across the load. Okay. Because for measurement of voltage, so proportional to the voltage, the current is flowing through this coil, and by using the resistance, so we are limiting the current. Okay. We are using the limited current flowing through this coil. Okay. So this moving coil is used as a pressure coil for the measurement of voltage. Okay. So overall the size current flowing through this coil is limited. So overall the size of this coil is optimized. Okay. So overall weight is optimized. Okay. And in this case, a small diameter or a thin conductor with the number of turns is used in the moving coil. Okay. It is used in the moving coil. Okay. So this is the construction of the moving coil. Okay. So it is mounted on a pivoted spindle. It is embraced by a fixed current coil. Okay. The moving coil is wound either as a self-sustained coil or else a non-metallic coil. Okay. So to avoid the eddy current losses, these coils are air cored. These coils are air cored. Okay. Or they are mounted, wound on a non-metallic former, or a non-metallic material is used to wound this. Okay. So that the eddy current losses or the hysteresis losses are avoided. Okay. Light but rigid construction is used for the moving coil. It should be noted that both fixed and moving coils are air cooled. The moving coil considered as a pressure coil of the instrument. It connects in parallel with the supply voltage. The current flows through them is directly proportional to the supply voltage. Okay, so this is about the moving coil. Now we see the next part is a controlling part. Okay, so the controlling torque is provided by the two control springs, and these springs act as a lead to the moving coil. Okay, so when the torque is generated on the deflecting system or on this moving system, okay, so we need to control this torque. So TD is equal to TC, and a deflecting torque should be equal to controlling torque. Okay. So for that purpose, the control springs are used. Okay, the control springs are used. Okay, one end is connected to the moving system, another end is fixed. Okay, and this control spring will serve the purpose of current in and current out for the moving coil. Okay, so the gravity control and the spring control are the two types of control system used. Okay, and out of two, the dynamometer wattmeter uses the spring control system. Okay, it uses the spring control system. The spring control system is used for the movement of the pointer. Okay, for the controlling the deflecting torque. Next is a moving system. The moving coil is mounted on an aluminum spindle. Okay, so moving system. So there is a spindle, there is a control spring, there is a coil, and this total assembly is held into the jewel bearings. Okay, and it is made a light. Okay, so that the friction should be minimum. Okay, the moving system also carries the counterweight and truss type pointer. Okay, so this moving system carries the pointers. also. Okay, so with this moving system, so it will deflect on the scale and it will show the power measured by the wattmeter. Okay. The damping system. The damping is the effect which reduces the movement of the pointer. The damping reduces the movement of the pointer. Okay. To avoid the oscillations in the moving system, the damping is used. Okay. The damping is used. So in a wattmeter, the damping torque produces because of the air friction is provided by a pair of aluminum vanes attached to the spindle at the bottom, and these vanes move in a sector shaped chamber. Okay, in a sector shaped chamber. So air friction damping is used in the wattmeter. Okay, electrodynamo meter wattmeter. So next is a scale and pointers. Okay. So the instrument use a linear scale up to a certain limit and at the maximum reading. So it is a compress. Okay. The apparatus uses the knife edge pointer parallax error which causes because of the oversight. Okay. So there is a flat and at the end, so it is a twisted, so which will give a correct reading, and below this between this pointer and scale the mirror is provided, a slit of mirror is provided, and while measuring the reading or while noting down the reading, so we coincide the pointer and its image in the mirror. Okay, and so we can note down the correct readings. Okay, we note down the correct readings. Okay, so these are the parts of the electrodynamometer type wattmeter. Okay, now we see the working of the wattmeter. Okay, so current to be measured is passed through the stationary coils which are connected in series. Okay, forms the magnetic field. Okay, so this is a current coil, so which is divided into two holes, okay, into two parts, so which is connected in series with the load. Okay, and this current coil is having the designation called as a M and L. M and L. M is connected to the main supply side and L is connected to the load side. Okay. So the current proportional to the voltage to be measured is also passed through the moving coil via control spring. Okay. So this moving coil is called as a pressure coil, or it is also called as a voltage coil. Okay, and which is having terminal V and C. Okay, called as a common and voltage. Okay. So this is a pressure coil called as a PC, current coil called as a CC, and one high resistance is connected in series with the pressure coil. Okay. Now, current carrying moving coil is placed in a magnetic field. Okay, it is placed in a magnetic field, and according to the Fleming's left hand rule, force is experienced on the moving coil, which will give the deflection of the point. Okay, so as we discussed earlier, the same thing, but with this connection. Okay, how a wattmeter is connected in the electrical circuit. Okay, based on that. So this is a current coil, fixed coil, moving coil, pressure coil. When it is connected to the circuit, so current is flowing through this both coil. So there is an interaction of the magnetic field, and according to the Fleming's left hand rule, the force will be generated on the moving coil and the pointer will deflect. Okay, so this is the working of wattmeter. Now we'll start with the theory of the wattmeter. Okay, so how it will measure power and how it will measure power. Okay, so for that we go through this theory, we go through this derivation. Okay, the instantaneous torque on the electrodynamometer instrument is given by Ti, and instantaneous torque Ti. Okay, so is equal to I1 I2 dm by dt. I1, I2, current through these two different coils, fixed coil and moving coil. Okay, and there is a interaction between this magnetic field and there is a deflection. So I1, I2 dm by d theta, where I1 and I2 are the instantaneous values of current in two coils. Okay, so let V and I be the RMS value. Okay, so generally we are measuring current, voltage, power. Okay, so it is a RMS value. Okay, so instantaneous value of voltage across the pressure coil. Okay, so from this RMS value, so we find out the instantaneous value. V is equal to root 2 times V sin omega t. V is equal to root 2 V sin omega t. Okay, if the pressure coil circuit has a very high resistance, so it can be treated as purely resistive. Okay, so we are added the resistance to limit the current. Okay, so the overall the nature of this coil is a resistive. Okay, because infinite resistance is used for the voltmeter. Okay, so for that, so it is called as a purely resistive. So current IP in the pressure coil is in a phase with the voltage, and its instantaneous value is given by IP is equal to V upon RP. And IP, current through this instantaneous current through this pressure coil, is equal to instantaneous voltage across the pressure coil upon the resistance of pressure coil. So which is equal to root 2 multiplied by V upon RP sin of omega t, and V upon RP is nothing but the IP, RMS current through the pressure coil. Okay. So here IP is a RMS value of current in a pressure coil, capital I. This should be capital IP is a RMS value of current in the pressure coil, and RP is a resistance of the pressure coil. Okay. So if the current in the pressure coil lags, but because of the coil, air core coil, okay, so it is having some property, so the current through this coil lag, means practically it is not in phase with the voltage. Okay, so it lags by the voltage by some angle, okay, by some phase angle phi, and instantaneous value of current through the current coil is given by IC is equal to root 2 multiplied by I sin omega t minus phi. Okay, so we have to measure the current. Okay, so for that, this current lags behind the supply voltage. Okay, so depending on the nature of load, and apart from that, okay, so the current coil, okay, the current is lagging to the voltage by an phase angle phi. Okay, so IC, instantaneous current through the current coil, is equal to root 2 multiplied by I, RMS value of current through current coil, sin omega t minus phi, sin omega t minus phi. Okay, so this phi is a phase angle between voltage, supply voltage, and the current through the current coil. Okay, so instantaneous torque is given by Ti is equal to I1 I2 dm by d theta. Now we substitute the instantaneous current through the current coil and small IP current through the pressure coil in this equation. So root 2 IP sin omega t, this is the RMS current through the pressure coil, multiply by root 2 I sin omega t minus phi. So this I is a RMS current flowing through the current coil. Okay, so Ti is equal to 2 IP I sin omega t minus phi dm by d theta. Okay, and after simplification, so we get IP I in square bracket cos phi minus cos in bracket 2 omega t minus phi bracket complete dm by d theta. Okay. Now from this equation, so we can find twice omega t. Twice omega t. Omega is nothing but 2 pi f. 2 pi f. Okay. So from this term containing 2 omega t, a component of power which varies as a twice the frequency of current and voltage. Okay. So TD, okay. So deflecting torque. This is an instantaneous torque. So this will generate the deflection in the moving system. Okay. And this TD is equal to 1 upon T integration 0 to T Ti d omega t. Ti d omega t. And deflection integration of instantaneous torque. Okay. From 0 to T. Now we substitute this Ti in this equation 1 upon T 0 integration 0 to T Ip I in square bracket cos phi minus cos in 2 omega t minus phi dm by d theta d omega t. Okay. Now after solving this integration, so deflecting torque Td is equal to Ip I cos phi dm by d theta. Dm by d theta. Okay. Now this Ip current through this pressure coil is equal to V upon Rp, and RMS voltage across the pressure coil, and Rp is a resistance of the pressure coil. Okay. So V upon Rp multiplied by I current through this current coil I in RMS cos phi dm by dt. Okay. So deflecting torque is Vi cos phi upon Rp dm by d theta. Okay. So this is the average deflecting torque. This is average deflecting torque. Td is equal to Vi cos phi upon Rp dm by d theta. Okay. So we need a controlling torque. We need a controlling torque exerted by the spring. Tc is equal to k theta. Tc is equal to k theta, where k is a constant of a spring and theta is a final steady state deflection. Final steady state deflection. Okay. Since the moving system of an instrument cannot follow the rapid variation in the torque, 2 times omega t. Okay. So the torque has a double frequency component. So it will take up a position at which the average deflection torque is equal to the restoring torque of the spring. Okay. Restoring torque of the spring. Okay. So k theta Tc controlling torque, which is equal to average deflecting torque Td, or here Tc is equal to Td, k theta is equal to Ip I cos phi dm by d theta. Okay. I think some portion is missed here. Okay. So we shift this k here and we find out theta deflection. Theta is equal to Ip upon k I cos phi dm by d theta. Okay. Ip is equal to, Ip is replaced by V upon Rp. Okay. So after simplification we get k for Rp k 1 upon Rpk. Okay. So this is replaced by k. Okay. So here k is not mentioned. So Ip is equal to V upon Rp multiplied by k in the denominator side, I cos phi dm by d theta, which is equal to k1 Vi cos phi dm by d theta. Okay. So 1 upon Rp k is replaced by another constant k1. Okay. And this K1 dm by d theta. Okay, so it is taken in bracket K1 dm by d theta, and Vi cos phi is nothing but the P. Vi cos phi is nothing but the P. Power to be measured. Power to be measured. Okay. So because this current will depend on the load. Phi, it is a depend, cos phi again it is depend on the load. Okay. And voltage connected to the load. Okay. So Vi cos phi is a power. So in this way, theta gives us the power to be measured. Power to be measured. Okay. So where P is a power being measured, which is equal to Vi cos phi. Okay. And theta is equal to K1 dm by d theta P. Dm by d theta P. Okay. So in this way, by using this electrodynamometer type wattmeter, so we get the deflection in terms of power. We get the deflection in terms of power. Okay. And this scale is calibrated in such a way that directly we can read the power. Directly we can read the power from the scale. Okay. So this dm by d theta, so mutual inductance, M is a mutual inductance and theta is a deflection. So this will depend on the interaction of magnetic field between the fixed coil and the current coil. Okay. So this mutual inductance and deflection, it is a depend on the current flowing through both coil, fixed coil and moving coil. So this ratio dm by d theta, this ratio is also constant. Okay. As the current is increased, so this mutual inductance is increased and the d theta deflection is also increased. Okay. So in this way we can get the power to be measured by using deflection theta. By using deflection theta. Okay. Now we'll see what is the shape of this scale. What is the shape of this scale? Okay. So from this theta, so it is a clear K1 multiplied by dm by d theta multiplied by P. The deflection is directly proportional to the power being measured and the scale is essentially uniform over the range in which dm by d theta is constant. Okay. Dm by d theta is constant. Okay. So the 0 to 50 degree centigrade means from 0 to 50 degree centigrade either side. So scale is linear up to 50 degree centigrade, and beyond that there is a compressed scale is there. Okay. Up to 50 degree centigrade scale is uniform. Scale is uniform. Okay. So this is about the electrodynamometer type wattmeter. Okay. So for this, so I referred Ekeshwani and this electrical and electronics measurement and instrumentation by Prithviraj Purakit, and some figures they are taken from the Google. Thank you for patience listening. Thank you.